Good morning, everybody, and welcome. My name is Adele, and along with my colleague Craig. Good morning, Craig.
Good morning, Adele. Good morning, everyone.
We are delighted that you've joined us for this week's session of the CLIA Summer School series. Now, these sessions have been created to keep you up to date with everything happening with our cruise line members and partners, and to let you have a sneaky peek at some of the new ships, fabulous destinations, and new itineraries too. But before we get going, as always, I have a little bit of housekeeping for you. So we will be recording the session and we will share it on the CLIA website a little bit later on today. I will also be showing a number of videos during the session, and as regulars to these events know, the system isn't always the best when it comes to video, so please do bear with us as the videos load and when we return to the presenter. And even though you'll be in listen-only mode for the duration of the webinar, we would still like you to contact us. And you can do that by using the questions section in GoToWebinar, which is situated to the right of your screen. There's a control panel there, and if you click on the questions icon, it will open up a text box and make it a little bit easier to add any questions you have. So please do submit any relevant questions or comments you have, and we'll cover as many as possible at the end of each session after each presenter has spoken. If your question is not answered or you think of something after the webinar has ended, then please do email us at ukinfo@cruising.org. So this morning we have a great session for you, which includes presenters from Celebrity Cruises, MSC Cruises, and Greater Miami CVB. Now, each of the presenters has 15 minutes to inspire and update you, and they'll also answer as many questions as they can within that time. So without further ado, I would like to welcome Leon Hand from Celebrity Cruises. Good morning, Leon.
Good morning, Adele. Good morning, everybody. Thanks for having me. We're going to go straight into all about Europe with Celebrity Cruises next year. So Adele's going to be my assistant by moving on to the next slide. You know me by now, Adele. So let's have an overview of what's really coming down the line and what's exciting. Celebrity Cruises has 7 ships in Europe next summer, 3 of which are our newest, our youngest, and our most incredible, the Edge series. So what have we got to talk about? We have got 7 ships in Europe with more overnights, more late night stays, and a lot of exciting new developments, including more 7-night sailings, which is great for anybody who is new to Celebrity or indeed new to cruise. But with Celebrity Cruises, the destination immersion piece is so important. And we know that affluent travelers that want to travel with us want to get a real feel of that place that they're visiting, culture, cuisine, architecture, and especially when the sun goes down, the city changes. So look at that list of overnight ports, an incredible collection of diverse and really exciting destinations where we'll be staying overnight, including Florence for the first time ever. So that's Europe at a glance. We have 2 Solstice Series ships, 2 Millennium Series ships, and we have Celebrity Edge, Celebrity Apex, and the incredible Celebrity Beyond, which is coming soon, and I'm going to come to that later. So no stone unturned, no corner of Europe unvisited. And what's exciting is we have a great collection of new itineraries that we are publishing for the first time for 2022. The overnights are always a big hit. We're visiting new places like Taranto, which is a gorgeous medieval town right on the heel of the boot of Italy. And we think that this will really, really appeal to the high-end, high-spend, affluent travelers that love Celebrity Cruises. So there's so much to talk about, but going on to the next slide, what I want to do is point out what's new in terms of Northern Europe. Celebrity Silhouette and Celebrity Apex from Southampton and Amsterdam will be visiting a much-loved Norwegian fjords, which the Brits love. And we have decided to put in new ports of call for the fjords. Haugesund is the old capital of Norway, and Molde is famous for the stunning Atlantic Road, which is the scene of many film sets. We're also visiting Kristiansund, which is the lively capital of southern Norway. So if you're selling the Norwegian fjords with Celebrity Cruises, it's really important to tell your customers that these destinations are new and exciting and have so much more to offer as part of a Norwegian fjord cruise. And again, the Med, arguably you could say that, you know, year after year, the same places appear. And again, one thing to really note with Celebrity is that we are trying to heighten the attractions of the places that we visit. And this is just giving you some real inspiration on the top Mediterranean experiences. So, you know, from Slovenia only has 36 miles of coastal line, but we go to Slovenia and there's so much to see. And the beauty of a Cruises Celebrity is visiting these really gorgeous, tucked away destinations around the Mediterranean and the Adriatic and Istrian coast. My favorite is the overnight in Istanbul. Now, I've been to Istanbul. On both occasions I was cruising. On both occasions I had an overnight. Oh my goodness, this city really is something special, and a day visit doesn't do it justice. And of course, wine lovers, don't forget that Celebrity Cruises is the most awarded cruise line from the Wine Spectator with over 45 awards. We are visiting beautiful Bordeaux, which is a city known around the world for its wine and its vineyards. So overnights in these cities really do add something special to a cruise holiday. And I always say you're giving your customers 2 holidays for the price of 1. But we've got a bit of a drum roll here, because before we go to a movie, Celebrity Beyond, she is launching next year from the UK. So our 3rd Edge series ship coming soon, shatters expectations and defies imagination. And she's debuting right here from Southampton next April. She'll be operating 9 and 10 night Mediterranean cruises between Barcelona and Rome, but starting her journey from Southampton on a beautiful 10-night cruise that goes to Barcelona, taking in the jewels of France, Spain, and Portugal. So let's talk about Beyond. We have decided to curate really, really special destinations that we believe reflect new luxury, which is what all Celebrity is all about. Really high-end, fabulous cities and ports that are a little bit different and appeal again to the luxury-loving affluent guest. From Corsica to Nafplio, a gorgeous town on a peninsula 2 hours away from Athens, and Santa Margherita and Portofino, the playground of the rich and famous, the Monaco and the Monte Carlo of southern France, and that Florence overnight. Now, don't forget that when you travel to Florence, when you're cruising, you normally have to go into La Spezia or into Livorno, and it takes roughly 50 minutes to get there. You will not have to rush back. You will not have to get back to the ship by 5 o'clock. You'll be able to enjoy the evening and the night in this beautiful Renaissance city with Celebrity on Celebrity Beyond. So, if we can go back, I'm now going to ask Adele to play the movie to give you an incredible taste of this very, very exciting ship where we have taken the transformational Edge series to another level. So, roll tape. Okay, short and sweet because we haven't got a lot of time, but you can go onto Celebrity Central and download a video to show to your customers and have yourself. Let's do a whistle-stop tour of Europe. So Celebrity Apex, the 2nd Edge series ship, is based in Amsterdam, doing Northern Europe and visiting the Scandinavian Russia, the British Isles and Iceland and Ireland, as well as the fjords. There's 2 new ports of call in Norway. Next slide. We've then got Celebrity Edge. And what's great about Celebrity Edge, she is the flagship of the Edge series. She's doing lots of 7-nighters. So everybody wants to get on the ship. Everybody loves it. It is transformational and revolutionary. And we've deliberately planned lots of 7-night cruises to attract the new to brand and the new to cruise customer for a real taste of new luxury. We've then got Celebrity Reflection, our youngest and largest Solstice series ship. She's living in Rome and she's doing the Eastern Med, the best of the Eastern Med, with those incredible overnights in Istanbul for an extra bonus of a mini city break in Turkey. We then go to Silhouette, our beautiful revolutionized Solstice series ship. Had a total makeover. She's our baby. She lives in the UK and she's operating a great collection of cruises from Southampton, from the fjords in Russia and Scandinavia, down to 9-night Spain and France sailings, which are relatively new for the UK market, and a couple of short sailings to Bruges and Amsterdam. Great for your new to cruise as well. And then finishing off with Constellation and Infinity. These are mid-sized Millennium Series ships, and they are the busiest ships in the Med, doing lots and lots of 9- and 10-night cruises, home porting out of Rome, Barcelona, and Venice. And if we go to Infinity, which is the next slide, she does this incredible mini season out of Lisbon. So there's only 4 sailings that are very unique in the summer, where you're able to do Lisbon to Barcelona or Barcelona to Lisbon twice next summer and take in the sights and delights of the Iberian Peninsula. So think Porto, Lisbon, south of Spain, Barcelona, Cartagena, Palma, and they're very unique. And we only have Infinity based in Lisbon just for a short period next summer. Okay, so what are the highlights then in summary? Edge is operating a 7-night program in the Mediterranean. Reflection is based in the Med in Rome, visiting Istanbul overnight, with again visits to Istanbul and Bordeaux overnight. We also have new destinations in the Norwegian fjords, which will excite your UK customers, and Beyond is based overnight in Florence and does the late nights called Santorini, so you can see the beautiful sunsets from the top of the island in Oya there. And of course, Apex, our second Edge series ship. For the first time, we'll have an Edge series based in the north of Europe in Amsterdam. So where do you go to get more information? Well, don't forget that we sail always included. So every single ship, every time, every guest, every sailing will always have drinks, tips, and Wi-Fi included. It's that simple. But they can upgrade and indulge or elevate their holiday for £25 per person per night. More on Celebrity Central, which I'll show you now. So this is your one-stop shop for everything celebrity. If you're working with us, if you're promoting Celebrity Cruises, selling Celebrity Cruises, this is your Wikipedia and Google. Make sure that you go there every time for anything you need. And what we want to do is make your life easy. So we've set up a great hub of assets and resources for you to promote Celebrity. So whether it's a video or an asset for social media, we've got everything under the sun. Plus, don't forget that we reward you up to £20 per booking every time you make a booking. And for an Edge series ship, you will get extra commission up to 15% for any Edge series ship. So I've got my 2-minute warning. So I just want to finish by talking about our podcast. We're so excited that this is going really well. And if you're doing the dishes, walking the dog, making the dinner, listen to Conversations with Celebrity. This is available on all podcast platforms and online on soundcloud.com. And it's a half-hour program hosted by myself with news, training, and fantastic exclusive VIP interviews. Everything you need in half an hour. And the next episode is coming at the end of this month. So that's it from me. I think I've just made it in my allotted time. Once again, it's a pleasure to talk to all of you and to work with CLIA. And thank you very much for giving me your time and attention.
Marvelous. Thank you so much, Leon. You know, that was a wonderful whistle-stop tour, and all those great, no, to get all those destinations in there, that was absolutely marvelous. And if anybody does want to see in more detail on those different destinations and itineraries, then this session has been recorded, as we said earlier, so you can look back at those and get those booked for your customers. Also as well, we were very lucky to be on board Celebrity Silhouette a couple of weeks ago. CLIA hosted the National Travel Agent Day celebration, so we had about 20 travel agents on board. The absolutely beautiful Silhouette, she was looking resplendent in the sunshine. It was an absolutely gorgeous day in Southampton. We had a marvelous time, so thank you again to Celebrity for hosting us for that.
Our pleasure.
Craig, over to you. Did we have any questions for Leon?
We did, thanks Leon, amazing, seasoned professional there. Jonathan is asking, when will printed brochures be available?
We are looking at doing that for the next launch of deployment towards the end of the year. So we haven't decided what the date is to release the next brochures, but that's coming soon. Make sure that you log on to Celebrity Central and always look at the news page for all updates.
Lovely. A couple of people were asking about the assets, and particularly the video that you showed today, and obviously Celebrity Central is the place for them to look for any of that as you just mentioned. Lots of positive comments. Linda, Beyond looks beautiful. Nina is very excited. She's sailing with you next May.
Great.
I was wondering, I mean, again, fantastic array of destinations there in Europe, and you mentioned that obviously with increased overnight stays, so is there a move to longer itineraries?
Well, there are 11 night itineraries out of Rome with Celebrity Reflection, and 9 and 10 night itineraries are featured as part of Beyond's Mediterranean collection. So we're finding that 7 nights are great for people that want to try Celebrity or try cruise, but we're also introducing 9 to 12 nights in the Med for those that love to spend more time cruising and doing the overnights as well. So you can choose between 7 nights or up to 11 and 12 nights.
Oh, that's fantastic. I think it's a great idea. Just sticking with the question with the Norwegian fjords, could you remind us what's the cruising season for the fjords?
From May right through to the middle of September.
That's fantastic. Well, it's definitely on my bucket list, and I have a bigger bucket list after watching your video, listening to your presentation. So, Leon, as always, thanks very much. It's a pleasure to see you.
Thanks, everyone. Goodbye. Have a good day.
Thanks so much, Leon. Thanks for being with us this morning. Well, now it's time to hear all about MSC Cruises with Claire Smith. Good morning, Claire.
Good morning, Adele. Good morning, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us today. So I'm really excited today because this is the first time that we will be introducing and unveiling our Saudi Arabia and Red Sea itineraries that we have for winter 21 and 22. Now we have had them on sale for a couple of months, but of course this is really an in-depth little bit of training just to show you the fantastic and exciting new itineraries that we do have for that winter season. So we are unveiling this timeless beauty, Saudi Arabia. It's a brand new destination, and at MSC Cruises we have just signed a 5-year contract with Cruise Saudi. Now this is a long-term commitment. We are the very first cruise line to do this and to cruise in this area. And this summer we also had MSC Bellissima just a few weeks ago started cruising in Saudi Arabia, which was really exciting. The first brand new cruise ship to be cruising from Jeddah. And then we move into the winter period where we will of course hopefully be able to have some British and Irish guests on board as well for the winter time. So really exciting. And as I said, this is a long-term commitment, and this is due to support the development of the local tourism sector by operating cruises in the Red Sea and the Arabian Gulf. Now we have the MSC Foundation. So MSC Foundation is our not-for-profit organisation, part of the MSC Group, and partnering with the BAA Foundation, which is also a non-profitable group, an organisation in Saudi Arabia. We've joined forces to help the conservation and safeguard the marine life and the ecosystems out there. So we share a common goal to protect and preserve the oceans, because of course the oceans are our home. And we are coming together to advance the practice and science of coral reef restoration, and importantly to disseminate the knowledge that we acquire to a global audience, so to really help educate both our guests and anyone else that is into their sustainability. Now, why Saudi? Saudi has a key driver for tourism to achieve for their 2030 vision. So up until 2019, it was really more of a business destination. You didn't really have a lot of leisure travel. So this is something that's brand new. And of course, in the last year and a half, people have not really been able to travel due to the pandemic. So it really is a brand new destination. And we want to help them achieve that vision, that 2030 vision of having a vibrant society, a thriving economy, and an ambitious nation. And as I said, we are the very, very first cruise line to partner with the Cruise Saudi. So we are absolutely delighted. Now, we will be visiting Saudi Arabia, Jordan and Egypt on the itinerary. It's a brand new 7-night itinerary that will offer our guests an opportunity to explore 3 ancient civilizations and 5 World Heritage UNESCO sites as well. So it's an incredible destination to go to. People that are looking for destinations that are on their bucket list that they've never been to before, that's a once in a lifetime opportunity. This is a fantastic destination and itinerary to pick up. Now, we have got, as I said, MSC Magnifica. She will be in Saudi Arabia and the Red Sea, home porting in Jeddah for the winter time. You'll be able to pick that up on the itineraries from November through to March 22. And we will also have some preferred fly cruise packages through our brand new partnership as well with Saudi Airlines. And that will be a direct service from London Heathrow out to Jeddah, and that will help our customers have that completely seamless journey from start to finish. Okay, so located at the crossroads of the 3 continents of the world, Saudi Arabia is exceptionally well and rich in culture, traditions and heritage. It has the 5 World UNESCO Heritage Sites that, like I spoke about, including the historic Jeddah and Al-Hajj. Excuse some of my pronunciation. Of course, these are brand new words to us as well, new destinations. And of course, the archaeological site in Al-Ula, which are both accessible to MSC Magnifica's guests. And the kingdom offers an unmatched voyage of discovery. So Saudi Arabia is home to some striking natural wonders, breathtaking landscapes, and untapped archaeological treasures, with year-round sunshine, topped with some of the world's most beautiful beaches and thriving marine ecosystems of the Red Sea. The kingdom is the must-visit destination this winter, and it ticks every single box on the bucket list. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to ask Adele just to run VT before I finish the Jeddah slide. So, Adele, if you could pop that on for me, that would be great.
Our planet never ceases to amaze us. The best is always waiting to be discovered. Every corner hides unseen treasures. In unknown places, treasures of breathtaking beauty that leave you spellbound, where you can reach new heights and feel on top of the world. Run your fingers along the relics of a rich past. Discover new places where you can leave your mark. Be the first to witness a land of fascinating journeys. Where in the world could this be? Saudi. Welcome to Arabia.
So that was just a little video from the Saudi Arabian Tourist Board. So really just to whet your appetite for the destination. So continuing on with this slide, Jeddah's unofficial motto is Jeddah Gear or Jeddah Different. No Saudi city has been more open to outside influences over the years than this ancient port, where traders, international artists or Maccabean pilgrims, that is where the destination really has been. So today Jeddah is Saudi's budding cosmopolitan hub. It's home to gleaming hotels and big ticket events like the Red Sea International Film Festival. The city's heart is still intact in Al Balad, which is the magical historical quarter that has undergone a renaissance in recent years. And the Red Sea is still central to it all. So for trade, the diving amongst the pristine reefs, and fishing for seafood and Jeddah. That's what Jeddah is known for. So the city is supposed to be where Eve was laid to rest in the beguiling mix, and it remains gloriously different to the rest of Saudi Arabia. So you can see here, beautiful destination. Then we move on to the next slide. So we have some more of the destinations here. So here we go. Let's put our teeth in for some of these destinations. So Al Ras, Al Abyad. So this gives us lots of different experiences. So we've got, of course, Saudi Arabia has got the largest sand desert on earth. So for anyone that's a film lover, just like myself, think about Lawrence of Arabia, think about Indiana Jones. They all, of course, those films are based in Saudi Arabia. And it is, of course, bordered by the Red Sea and the Arabian Gulf, which gives us the opportunity to get there on a cruise ship. There's lots of desert activities, including camel riding and dune bashing. And for water adventures, the scuba diving and snorkeling really is a really beautiful thing to go and be able to do and to see. And it really helps our guests explore. There's also some desert lakes, and you can explore out there on some local boats as well. So some lovely itineraries and destinations and port excursions that you'll be able to book for your guests as well. Then we move on to Aqaba. So this is one of my favourite destinations. Desperate to go here. This is one on my bucket list. So following in Lawrence of Arabia's footsteps, you can, of course, explore the mystery and the grandeur of Petra. So it is situated about 2 hours away from the port. It's just north of Aqaba. And Petra has lain hidden for more than 1,000 years and was rediscovered in 1812. So really beautiful destination. It is, of course, a World Heritage Site as well. So again, one for the bucket list, which was discovered again in 1985. Then we move on to Port Safaga. So this is in Egypt. And again, I think this is somewhere that's really interesting for your guests, especially when people have not really been able to travel to Egypt in the last 5 or 6 years. So Port Safaga is a village on the Red Sea coast. The town's economy is driven by the nearby Forsyth mines, but of course you can discover Luxor and an overwhelming concentration of relics in this area as well. So ever since the Nile steamers began calling in the 19th century, visitors come to view the remains of Thebes and ancient Egypt's new kingdom capital and its associated sites. The town itself, of course, has Luxor Temple, graceful ornaments its waterfront and downtown, while about a mile down the road you also have Karnak Temple, which was built over 1,300 years ago. And across the river are the amazing tombs and the mortuary temples at the Theban necropolis, which of course is an attraction not to be missed in Egypt. Then we move on to Al Waj. So Al Waj in Saudi, we're back to Saudi. So a quiet Red Sea coastal port that serves Alula. Oh, I'm getting my 2-minute warning, I better be quick. Is the kingdom's cultural centrepiece with historical landmarks that highlight important merchant trades and routes that date back thousands of years. But here you can visit Hegra, which is Saudi Arabia's first UNESCO World Heritage Site, which is home to more than 110 tombs carved from giant rock formations. But there's lots to see here and do, so Dedan, Jalba, Ikma, and so much more. Then we have our next slide, fabulous, which is Yanbu Al Bar, again in Saudi. So this is where you'll find the open desert touching the blue waters. And old Yanbu dates back 2,500 years. It offers one of the oldest souks where traders used to come from places as far away as Africa to sell their goods. And this is also divided into 3 different destinations. So you've got premier beach destinations in Saudi Arabia here, rich coral and sea life off the coast. And of course, it's famous for their musical exploits as well. So the people of Yanbu are local experts at the tact and sesame instruments. And of course, we want to talk about MSC Magnifica, which is the ship that will be in the Red Sea this winter. So she is a firm favourite of our British and our Irish guests. She has 1,259 elegant cabins available to book on Bella, Fantastica and Aurea Experience, from interiors to suites. She's a blend of Musica class and Fantasia class, so she gives our guests the best of both worlds. And one of the most iconic features is, of course, the Magradrome area, La Grotto at Zuri, which the name is based on the Blue Caves grottos of Capri in Italy. And this is the lush pool area with a sliding roof, making it a perfect area for any type of weather. Now, MSC Magnifica on the next slide as well is a more traditional ship in our fleet, but you can really feel the opulence and the luxury as you walk around the ship. So from the Italian marble to the thousands of LED lights in the theatre, there has been no expense spared when it comes to this magnificent ship. She has 11 designer themed bars, 4 restaurants, and add to that, of course, you have the Aurea Spa. So there is so much to choose from to help your clients relax and enjoy the 4-star hotel. Keep in mind that whilst we do dock in Saudi Arabian ports as well, we must observe the local traditions. So this means that we will not actually serve alcohol while the ship is docked within Saudi, so either at the port or within Saudi Arabian waters. And therefore, we would also recommend that any of your guests who usually prepare a drinks package on this cruise, we suggest that they pay as they go whilst they're in Egypt, Jordan, and any days at sea. Now I can see the slide moved on. So for Fly Cruise and our pre-night stay, we do have a great package with Saudia, as I said. So all Fly Cruise packages include a flight with Saudia from Heathrow to Jeddah. Saudia is an award-winning global carrier with different awards in the in-flight guest experience, cuisine and entertainment connectivity categories. They're part of the SkyTeam Alliance. And when you book this on MSC Book, we book the Fly Cruise package. We also include 1 night pre-stay and the Saudi Arabian e-visa for all guests, which roughly is about £86 per person. So great saving if you're booking a Fly Cruise. And just a reminder that if you are booking the flights with us as well, Saudi is a dry airline, so there will be no alcohol served on the flight. Then we move on to stress-free. So any bookings that are made at the moment, right through to September, will be applicable for our stress-free booking programme. All guests can move, if that gives them the peace of mind, they can move their cruise right up to 3 weeks before travelling on a Fly Cruise, if they do decide they want to move it. And any clients that do have any future cruise vouchers outstanding, they can use that towards the Saudi Arabian and Red Sea cruises as well. And then in terms of local restrictions, if you are booking a cruise only, the visa is not included, so just make sure that you're aware of that and your guests are aware of that. And of course, at the moment, it locally is on the amber list, so thankfully it's not on the red list, so people are able to travel. And then last but not least, we do also have our MSC Voyagers clubs and our status match programme. So any customers who are already existing customers with MSC Cruises do of course get a 5% discount off all their cruises. If they're silver tier and above, they also could be eligible for an extra 15% discount off these cruises as well, plus onboard credit, which is incredible. And for any of your customers that are out there who are trying us from a different cruise line or are regular customers that go to hotels that have memberships, we will also match that as well through our loyalty scheme. So make sure you pick up the status match programme for anyone that's new to MSC Cruises. And that is me. Thank you so much for listening today. I'll pass back to Craig. Thank you.
Well done, Claire. That is the most fantastic destination, and what a great way to see. And 3 different destinations in one as well. Absolutely fabulous. I have one question before I pass over to Craig, and it's something that I picked up on one of the excursions. Dune bashing. Do you know what dune bashing actually is?
Usually it's on the 4x4s. So the 4x4 safari. So you go on the 4x4 dune bash over all the sand. Yeah.
Right. I wondered what on earth that was. So thank you for clearing that up.
Sorry, no problem.
Now we'll go over to Craig. Craig, was that one of your questions too?
It was. I wondered why so many people, you had something against one month of the year. It's a very nice month. Anyway, sorry. There we go. Claire, thanks very much. You've just been through one of my favorite regions of the world. I haven't been to Saudi, but I have been lucky enough to visit Petra and the delights of Egypt. I would recommend anybody to go there. It is absolutely amazing. Regarding those destinations, Dina, morning Dina, thanks for your questions. You mentioned, well, you did answer most of the questions, I think, about the non-alcoholic policy. It was when you're in Saudi waters and obviously when you're, well, just, yeah, in Saudi waters, is that correct?
Yeah. Yeah, so when you're docked in any of the Saudi Arabian ports, or if you're within the Saudi waters, so it's about 12 miles basically you need to be within for the coast. So if you're within that, then unfortunately we will not serve alcohol. So you will be able to still have drink packages, your teas, your coffees, your soda package, any non-alcoholic cocktails and things like that. That's absolutely fine. But unfortunately, when we're in those ports, we won't serve alcohol. We do need to respect the local traditions and the local laws out there as well. So that's where that comes from. And of course, if you're booking that fly cruise, the airline is also dry as well. So it'll be the same thing. You'll be able to get sodas and coffees, teas, etc., but not alcoholic drinks.
Right, very good, thank you. And you answered the questions about the visa, the e-visa. Dina is also asking about exploring solo, let's say. Is there a possibility to go not on an organised excursion in these destinations?
At the moment, because we are not at that point yet for winter, we are still looking at the safety bubble for the time being. But of course, if that changes, then we will let you know, because of course, the further we go through this pandemic and as things start to ease off, the hope will be that you will be able to do that in the winter. But for the time being, I need to just keep you within the safe bubble at the moment. So yeah, that will stay for the time being.
Great. Just again, from a personal point of view, I would recommend going with an organised excursion, because some of the sites are at a distance and you get all the information at hand. Yeah. Great. Let's see, a few more questions coming through. Dina's asking about MSC Virtuosa, sailing from Dubai in February 2022. So from Dubai to Saudi, calling it Daman. Will the clients need the same visa for the day?
So for Dammam, that's a really great question. So as long as you're going off on an excursion with us, then it's included. It's only if you decide you were going to go off on that date yourself, then it wouldn't be included. So we would, of course, again, Craig, like you said, I would be recommending that you do an excursion with MSC Cruises. It's a huge, it's quite steep for a visa, £86 per person. So it's a lot of money as well to do that. So you'd be cheaper booking the excursion.
Yeah, exactly. Good point. And finally, Jonathan, regular viewer, morning, Jonathan. He's asking as regards, will there be regional options for the flights? And also my final question, will there be upgrade to business class options as well?
So for the time being, there is not. However, you can keep it in mind, because later on it might be something we do, because this is just the first year we've done it. We've signed a 5-year partnership, so we need to wait and see how that actually looks, for this winter season, and probably for the next winter season you might start to see more regional flying coming in. And the upgrades being available. So this is a watch this space, because as I say, it's the first time we've ever done it. So, but fingers crossed, that will be something that we will do in the future. Excellent,
definitely. It looks absolutely amazing. Claire, as always, thanks very much. Lovely to see you.
Thank you so much, guys. Thanks everyone for listening. Take care.
Bye-bye.
Thanks again, Claire. That was a great presentation on a fantastic destination. And now it's time for our final instalment of this morning's session. And I'd like to welcome Sebastian Saracen from Greater Miami CVB. Hi, Seb, how are you?
Hi, Adele. I'm very well. I've never been called an installment. I'm very well. It's like,
you are. Our
it's
final
nice to see you.
Nice to see you too. Over to you, Seb. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Adele. I'm Seb from the Greater Miami Convention and Visitors Bureau. Sadly, not based in Miami. I'm here in the UK as well, and I will be sharing my contact details later on if you need any assistance going forward. I'd be very happy to help you. So before I start, I just wanted to put everybody in the mood. So hoping that the technology is on our side, I'm going to ask Adele to show a short video, which is my way to say welcome to Miami. All right, so hopefully that has given you a bit of a taste for our great city. What I am going to be doing over the course of the next 10 minutes is really try to give you a very good overview for the whole of Miami and not just talk about South Beach. Whether you've been to Miami or not, you know about it. You've seen it on TV, you've seen it in video clips, TV series, and it's a great neighborhood. So I will mention it. And if you want to move on to the next slide, Adele. Here it is, South Beach, by far the most popular destination for European travelers, certainly for the Brits. And there's a good reason for that. It has it all, fantastic beaches. South Beach is obviously very famous for its famous or infamous, should I say, nightlife. Great dining option, great shopping areas as well. And if your customers are asking for South Beach, by all means, book them on South Beach. It's a great commission for you, plenty of money for us because the room rates are not cheap. However, Miami is about the size of Greater London. So it's a large city. It's the largest city in South Florida, in fact. And there are plenty of other neighborhoods in Miami that I think you should really get familiar with, because not everybody coming to Miami will want to stay on the beach. At the end of the day, your clients are coming over to go on a cruise, and they will have spent, or they are about to spend, about a week visiting some of the most beautiful beaches in the Caribbean. So they may want something a bit different. They may want to have a little bit more space around them as well, and there's plenty of space on mainland Miami. And here are a couple of neighborhoods that you should remember, because they might be very good fit for those customers of yours who don't want the beach. Maybe you do have some older passengers. They're not really too bothered about having access to nightclub 24/7, and they might not be the kind of people who want to lay on the beach all day. My personal favorite, Coconut Grove. It's located on mainland Miami. However, it is right on the water, so you still have access to small beaches, marina. It's a very green, very leafy neighborhood, and Coconut Grove is a small village, essentially, in the middle of a big city, but it is the original Miami fisherman's village that's been there since the very end of the 19th century, and it has retained a very local atmosphere. Most of the people who are based in Coconut Grove are locals, and they know one another on a first name basis. They go and buy their fish grocery at the farmer's market right in the middle of the grove. It's very laid back, very artsy. And as I said, it has got access to small beaches as well, and it is home to some beautiful hotels and plenty of attractions as well. If you do have customers who want to stay somewhere a little bit more sophisticated, Coral Gables is the place to bear in mind. Coral Gables is dubbed the Beverly Hills of Miami, so it is a very affluent area. Again, very green, very leafy, very Spanish in its architecture. And in fact, the Biltmore that you can see at the bottom of the slide there is possibly one of the most famous hotels, not just in Miami, but in the United States. And as you can see on the picture, it's got a very Spanish feel to it. And there's a good reason for that. It is actually the replica of a cathedral that can be found in Seville in southern Spain. And although it is a massive hotel, it's a very boutique hotel with plenty of space for dining. It's in the middle of a golf course as well. And it is known as a bit of a destination for the local who want to treat themselves to a nice meal, possibly one of the best places in Miami to go for brunch. So those two areas are great to bear in mind, because being away from the beach, they are cheaper. You will find that room rates are cheaper, going out is cheaper. And because they are very popular with locals, you will usually benefit from a better customer service. You're not going to be rushed because they want to sell the table to the next lot of travelers. So you get better quality at a cheaper rate, which really is a win-win situation. Moving on to the next slide, if you do have people who are jet setters and they really want to sample the latest hotel, latest restaurant, latest bars, there is a new kid on the block, and that is Brickell. Again, on mainland Miami, right on the water, no access to beaches as such, but it takes 10 minutes to cross the causeway and go to the beach if you wanted to do so. Brickell is virtually new. The oldest building in the neighborhood is probably 10 years of age. And although it is our financial district, it's a very fun neighborhood to experience, because people coming to Brickell on a business usually have a fair amount of money, and they are expected to be fed, water, and entertained. And in fact, if you wanted to experience glitz and glamour, and if you are into celebrities, that is the place to go. It's packed with Michelin-star restaurant, beautiful hotels. And the thing to bear in mind as well is that Brickell is located 5 minutes away from Port Miami. So if you have customers who can only do one night pre or post stay, pre or post cruise, and they want to minimize the transfer time, Brickell is definitely the place to watch. Now, I would like to mention a couple of neighborhoods which aren't really places where you would be booking accommodation, because there are only very few accommodation options, but they make out for a great day out or even a half a day out. My personal favorite has to be Wynwood. For those of you who don't know about Wynwood, just imagine Camden Town in London, but on speed. That's the best way I can describe Wynwood. It's very vibrant, it's very young, and it's very famous because it is today the largest canvas for street art in the world. It is literally covered with beautiful murals, and although it started as a bit of a hobby 10 years ago, group of young people from Miami started to paint on those walls. Fast forwarding 10 years later, we do have world-renowned artists literally queuing to have their art on those walls. So to facilitate that, once a year we whitewash the majority of the art work, and that gives way for some new beautiful murals. Wynwood is great as well, just to chill. The most popular area in Wynwood is the Wynwood Garden, which is a massive beer garden essentially. Wynwood is very famous for its microbrewery, so if your customers are into beers, they can take a microbrewery tours, and it's full of small shops where you can buy all kind of quirky souvenirs. And then I cannot mention the neighborhoods of Miami without talking about Little Havana. Miami has to be the least American city you will find in North America. It really is Latino through and through. And the largest Latino community to live in Miami is a Cuban community. You will find this Cuban flavor wherever you stay in the city, but it is especially the case in Little Havana, which is considered by me as being the true heart of Miami, not only because it's bang in the middle of the city, but it really is the best place to visit if you wanted to understand the local traditions and customs. Arguably, Miami's mother tongue is Spanish or over English, and it's a great place to visit for the day. And it's probably the best place if you wanted to sample a typical meal out. Don't expect fancy restaurant or the restaurant family run, but the food is delicious. Most restaurants will have a dance floor as well and salsa instructor, so you will find yourself eating, learning how to dance, and have a very good time indeed. Moving on to the next slide. This is going to be a very short slide. I just wanted to highlight the fact that we currently have over 60,000 hotel rooms in Miami. This number is expected to go over 70,000 hotel rooms by the end of 2022. And we do have plenty more hotels in the planning to open from 2023 beyond. That means that really there is a right fit for any of your customers, whether they want brand, non-brand, small hotel, big mega resort, we can accommodate. In terms of things to do, again, that is a presentation in itself. Other than winter sport activities, there's very little that you cannot do in Miami. There's plenty to do on land as well as over the water. Miami is a hotspot for sports lover, and we were delighted to hear a few weeks ago that the Formula One Grand Prix will make its return to Miami. It will be an annual fixture taking place in the spring. We don't have the exact date, but we know it is going to be in Q2 of 2022, and the circuit will be around the Hard Rock Stadium in Miami Gardens, north of downtown. So more details will be released in due course. Another thing that people don't usually associate with Miami is the great outdoors. And it is a shame because really Miami is the only city in the United States to be home to not one, but two national parks. And rather than talk about it, I would like Adele to show you a very short trailer. And that's our new campaign, Miami Land.
Welcome to Miami Land. Or rather, Miami's lands. Good news, it's not some new man-made theme park, but instead, it's the city's real wild side, Miami's great outdoors. No lines, no tickets, no limits. We don't need roller coasters! And our mascots don't wear costumes. We've got a 100,000-acre water park and 5 billion-star hotels. And best of all, it's found in Miami. Its backyard, in fact. So, when choosing your next vacation, ask yourself, do you want to be a character in someone else's adventure? Or do you want to write your own?
Miami Land. So this is just a trailer for a campaign we launched just before the pandemic, and all of the videos can be found on our YouTube channel. I will share the link with you in 1 second. Just before I finish, just a couple of updates. I'm not going to be talking about all of the cruises departing Miami. There's plenty. We are obviously the largest cruise port in the world. I just wanted to highlight the fact that Port Miami, the city of Miami, has been working very closely with many cruise lines out there, and we are seeing the arrival of plenty of brand new terminal in Port Miami. Royal Caribbean kicked off a couple of years ago with their new terminal. Norwegian Cruise Line launched theirs last summer. It hasn't been used for obvious reasons, but hopefully it will be fully operational when we are expecting cruises to return from October this year. Virgin will follow later on this year. MSC has also confirmed the build of new terminal in 2022, and so has Carnival. So the port is getting bigger and better every year. And then the last update I wanted to give you, Adele, if you want to move forward, is the direct train service that will link us to Orlando International Airport. The project is expected to be completed sometimes next year or at the beginning of 2023. And once operational, your customers will be able to link Miami and Orlando International Airport within 3 hours, which is about half the time it takes to drive. And a much cheaper option than taking a domestic flight. So as I have mentioned, I am based in London. My details are on the slide. For more information, please visit miamiandbeaches.com. You will have plenty of information about all of those neighborhoods. Our latest COVID update is also uploaded on there. And we're all over social media, whether it's Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. Please look out for Miami and Beaches. Thank you very much for your attention. And Adele, I hand over to you, or Craig maybe.
Thank you, Seb. That was an absolutely fantastic presentation, and it's such an iconic destination, like you said. But getting out and having a look around at those other areas, I was lucky enough to visit it must be some 5 years ago now, and we did manage to have a little tour around different areas, and it's just lovely to see, as well as that iconic South Beach, obviously. But a great place for pre and post stays, definitely, for travel agents to sell to their customers. Thanks again. Over to Craig. Craig, did we have any questions for Seb?
Hi, Seb. We do. Thanks, Adele. Yeah, fantastic presentation. Love to see you. Sticking with pre and post cruise stays. If, let's say, it's a cruise holidaymaker's first time in that region, and they want to get a first taste of Miami, how many nights would you recommend?
The longer the better, obviously, not that I am biased, but I would say if you stay 3-4 nights and you're prepared to get up early and get out there, you will be able to see quite a lot. Whenever I'm hosting fam trip, it's usually 3-4 nights, and it gives the agent a very good taste for the city. It's a full-on itinerary, but I would say 3 to 4 nights would be ideal.
That's fantastic. Yeah, there's so much there, as you said. And you mentioned a few different areas, different eating options, different profiles, let's say. Is Miami a place for sort of all budgets? I mean, obviously, cruise holidaymakers are of a certain standard spend, but is it for all budgets?
It is for all budget. Obviously, if you want to stay in South Beach, you are going to pay for the location. But as I mentioned earlier, there are plenty of options on mainland Miami. If your customers really want to stay on the beach, but they don't want to break the bank, as a rule of thumb, the further north you position yourself on the beach, so heading towards Fort Lauderdale, the cheaper the room rate and also the quieter it becomes as well. So if you're looking at North Beach or maybe a Sunny Isle, you are right on the beach, beautiful beaches there, but you're probably going to be able to do some savings because the room rate won't be as expensive as it is if you wanted to be right in the heart of South Beach within walking distance to Ocean Drive.
Fantastic. And just one last question. If it's, say, somebody's second or third time visiting Miami, would you recommend hiring a car to explore the region?
No, that is the biggest mistake you could possibly do. Miami's traffic is horrendous. Think the M25 around London pretty much 24/7. So by all means, do not hire a car if you wanted to visit the city. If you wanted to push down to the Everglades for the day, by all means, hire a car, drive down there, come back. But you don't want to have a car to actually visit the various neighborhoods. First of all, the traffic is really bad. And also, we do not have that many car parking facilities. And whilst all of the hotel will have car parking valet service, they will be charging you quite a lot to use the service. We've got excellent public transportation. And if you don't want to share the public transportation with other people, use Uber or the local cabs. They can use the carpool lane. So even during rush hour, you can actually get from one place to another reasonably quickly. And it's very, very good value for money. From memory, if you wanted to take a Uber to get from the airport to your hotel in South Beach, you're probably looking at about $20 to $30 when you split that between the number of passengers. It's a very affordable option. So yeah, do yourself a favor, not hire a car.
I have to agree with you there, Seb, because just to go back to my own personal experience, myself and my mother were actually in Miami, and we did have an accident on the I-95. Horrendous motorway. I've never seen anything like it. So yeah, do exactly as Seb recommends. Base yourself there. If you are driving further afield, then do, but you don't need a car at all to go around Miami. Definitely Uber or local taxis or public transport is the best. I agree completely.
That's right.
Sorry, Craig, completely took over there.
That's quite all right. So quite all right. Well, that's it. That's all the questions answered there, Seb. Thanks very much for a great presentation. I can't wait to see Miami again.
Well, thank you very much for the opportunity.
Me too. Thanks a lot, Seb. Thanks for joining us this morning.
Bye-bye.
And thank you to all of our speakers this morning for sharing so much inspiration, updates and information with us. Some fantastic information there. And as I said, if you need any more information or any details, then please do have a look at our website where the recording will be shown, because I know there's been a lot of information this morning for you to all take away. And we've got 2 more sessions left as part of summer school, which will take place until the end of August. Wow, goodness, how quickly has that gone? It's nearly the end of August, heavens. So do look out for more information on those upcoming events on cruising.org. So thank you all of you once again for joining us. And it's goodbye from Craig.
Auf Wiedersehen.
And it's auf Wiedersehen from me. Goodbye.